Hello and welcome to the news at 6 on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM Abuja. My name is Oikeke Igado Kube. The headlines this are: President Muhammadu Buhari insists that Boko Haram membership is thinning out. Federal government presents action plan to end extreme violence in Nigeria. Human Rights Radio clocks 1 year in transmission as praises continue to pour in from listeners. And on the foreign scene, ANC recalls President Jacob Zuma from office. Details in a moment. Please do stay with us. Another news info. President Muhammadu Buhari has insisted that the era of Boko Haram terrorism is gradually drawing to an end with a narrowing of the recruitment base of the insurgents and renewed onslaught by the Nigerian army. Receiving the letter of credence of Apostolic Nuncio of the Holy See to Nigeria, Antonio Filipazi, President Buhari said the terrorist group had lost appeal in its initial strongholds. He said the ongoing effort to dismember the terrorist group and render it completely powerless will be intensified. On corruption, the president said the fight against the culture of pilfering public funds would be prolonged and would require a new orientation by repositioning the entire educational system. The federal government has presented a comprehensive strategy to tackle violent extremism across the country. The document is entitled Policy Framework and National Action Plan for Preventing and Countering Violent Extremism. Speaking at the public presentation in Abuja today, Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, noted that the administration is restoring peace and security to the Northeast.
Sure, most of you would have heard the slogan, if you see something, say something. We intend to take that campaign further.
Thanks to the leadership and political will demonstrated by President Muhammadu Buhari, which has served as a moral booster for our gallant men and women in uniform, Boko Haram has been decimated and put on the run by our gallant military. The record of success is there for all to see. As part of its approach in tackling security challenges, our administration is engaging in dialogue with different key stakeholders in order to find possible and lasting solutions to the issue of herder-farmer conflicts, which is one of the security challenges we face today. As part of its approach in tackling security challenges, our administration is engaging in dialogue with different key stakeholders in order to find possible and lasting solutions to the issue of herder-farmer conflicts, which is one of the security challenges we face today. The role of the media in the fight against violent extremism cannot be overemphasized. It is on this basis that I applaud the critical role which the Nigerian media has played and continues to play in the fight against extremist groups in our country. Despite intimidation and attacks on some media outfits by Boko Haram, the Nigerian media stood firm and is still standing by the Nigerian people. I encourage the media to sustain this momentum until we collectively dismantle Boko Haram extremist ideologies through constructive alternative narratives. Furthermore, I also encourage you to engage in a responsible use of the social media so it doesn't become a platform for spreading fear, hatred, and violence, which are capable of tearing apart any society. Building resilience against violent extremism in our communities require collective responsibility of all of us.
Director General, Director Center for Counterterrorism, YAM, Musa, and the National Security Advisor, Babagana Mungunu, spoke on the importance of the action plan.
Our dedication in this regard led to effective legislation in the form of Terrorism Prevention Act as amended in 2013. We have also developed a national counterterrorism strategy and and applied our focus to implementing aspects of the national security strategy. We have also committed to entrenching strategic communication as an element of national power, which we integrate in all aspects of our work, both in the field and in various ministry, departments, and agencies of government. We have been able to do this and more through the leadership provided by the National Security Advisor. Slowly but surely, we are building the foundation for an effective security architecture in Nigeria. And today, we are sharing with you all one of such products of our efforts. I am very pleased to highlight that the policy framework which we present to you today has gone through wide consultation. The National Working Group included government, ministry, department, agencies, faith-based organizations, community-based organizations, including women and youth, who contributed in shaping the ideas and plans that have been enunciated in this policy framework. Through the policy formulation process, we learned from each other and sharpened our understanding of the root causes of violent extremism as it applies to our peculiarity in Nigeria. We review research materials, ensure that the policy is evidence-based. This part provides the underlying issues guiding the policy formulation. The policy aligns with relevant extant laws, regulations, conventions, both domestic and international, and also provides conceptual clarifications in line with our peculiarity in approach. As we develop the policy framework together, we will also work together to implement it across Nigeria. In all that we do, we are committed to rebuilding communities and livelihoods, defeating violent extremism through education and the rule of law.
In developing the policy framework, government did not work in isolation. Starting with a memorandum of understanding between my office and the Nigeria Stability and Reconciliation Program, we engaged key stakeholders through a national working group. This national working group consisted of government ministries, departments and agencies, civil society organizations, media, labor, students, and the academic community. The group held several technical meetings and also visited Belfast in Northern Ireland to exchange ideas and identify lessons Nigeria could learn from.
The framework has core objectives of strengthening accessible justice system, human rights, and the rule of law, amongst other things. Human Rights Radio 101 FM Abuja is 1 year old today. It is the first 100% human rights radio station in the whole world, with the sole aim of fighting on behalf of those that cannot fight for themselves, for the oppressed, abused, discriminated against, marginalized because of gender, status, color, or nationality. Human Rights Radio have stood to protect despite all odds.
I started following this program as I came back to Abuja, and there is no day I don't want to listen to this program before I go out, because it has imparted a lot of good things to people's life. I feel that it's a God-gifted, relieved suffering to masses of Nigerians. Human Rights is a good radio station. They imparted and they made a lot of differences to people's life. I pray they carry on like this.
The way they assist people in the open, the way they come out to take somebody's challenge, the way they take somebody's problem like their own, is an impact generally, which is not common. It's not common to our culture, where somebody will just wake up, he sees somebody that is stranded, he give him money, he sees somebody that don't have a house, he pay his house rent, he sees somebody that is not healthy, he pay his hospital bill, he sees somebody that is going to school, he gives him money to go and pay his school fees. It's not common in our culture, even within the political realm.
This Barakate Home Radio House have helped so many people, both outside the country and within this Nigeria. More especially widows. The way the owner used to take care of us, I never say. If you come here with problem, he will go to any lengths to make sure that your problem is being solved. He will help some people financially. Sometimes he used to come out and give some transport fare. Personally, I love the radio program. Even his staffs.
The Chairman, Board of Directors, Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM Abuja, Senator Abubakar Shodangi, earlier spoke with me and Kemi Adeyemi on the role the station has played in entrenching democracy in Nigeria.
Congratulating Mr. President, that the ordinary president, all the top management, including your humble self and the entire staff of Human Rights Radio for actualizing the dreams of Mr. Ordinary President, and indeed the Human Rights Radio attaining 1 year. By no means it is a great achievement. I have come on board, come alive. From day one, you started hitting the rock, not even the ground, and everybody has acknowledged that the purpose of establishing any radio house is to disseminate information, educate the immediate listeners, and indeed entertain them, and that you are doing. But over and above all, the fundamental objective of establishing this Human Rights Radio is to advocate human rights or protection of human rights as enshrined in our constitution. Cannot be left with the government only. The civil society, the non-governmental organization, and indeed the media expert like you, radio, electronic, print, must be up and doing in advocating and protecting the dignity of human values, and that's precisely what we've been doing. Apart from the protection of human rights, values, dignity, and the rest of them, you are adding a lot of value in our political awareness. Your program on X-ray, your pro bonos, legal matters, and so many other things. But in particular, your forum where you have provided both the Hausa and the English, which you are anchoring, the happenings around us, creating awareness, asking Nigerians to be true Nigerian indeed, and live to the expectation that is expected of them to go out and get their PBC, which is the current exercise that is going on, and that during the election days they should come and cast their vote to whoever they want to, without being coerced, without being bought with money. Let them not sell their conscience. It's very, very apt. We are now in 2018, and it is a year of election campaign which will soon start, or it has started, quote unquote, unofficially. It's very important that all radio house, all electronics and print media should give a kind of attention, creating that awareness to Nigerians, the importance of why they should come and vote people of their choice. Once again, commend all of you, the management of Human Rights Radio, who have been handling our affairs to the satisfaction of almost everybody. It has been an excellent commendation from public, and please, you should not relent.
Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM Abuja Radio Complex was commissioned February 13, 2017 by the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed. The federal government has inaugurated a 15-man committee to address the issues of irregular migration and human trafficking in the country. The committee is headed by the Controller General of Immigration, Mohammed Baban Dede, and the Edo Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Professor Yinka Omoregbe, as alternate chairman. The Minister of Interior, Abdurrahman Dambazao, who inaugurated the committee in Abuja on Tuesday, said the committee was set up to provide possible solutions to issues of irregular migration and human trafficking in the country. He urged the committee to look at what to do to stop or reduce the threat of human trafficking and irregular migration in the region. The committee is expected to turn in its recommendations within 4 weeks. Meanwhile, the fifth batch of the 136 Nigerian returnees from Libya arrived Port Harcourt in the early hours of today. South Zonal Coordinator, National Emergency Management Agency NEMA, Martins Ejike, said they are all intact except one who was taken to the hospital because she was unstable. Ejike said few returnees in the fourth batch who are from Osun and Ekiti states were still left at the center. He appealed to concerned state governments to hasten the process of picking their indigents. Nigerians have continued to react to the current outcry by the Police Service Commission, PSC, noting that more than 150,000 policemen were attached to VIPs and unauthorized persons in the country. Also, the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Zone 5 in Benin, Rashid Akintunde, recently said only 20% of policemen are engaged in core police duties of protecting lives and ensuring peace in the country.
We have been hearing it. If he's saying he should withdraw them with immediate effect. But what we are saying, the police were not enough. Look at the Bene Palava. Look at our population. Look at the population of the police we have. It's not enough. But government cannot recruit because there's no economic buoyancy to back it up. That's just the problem we are facing. Not because security is being provided for prominent in Nigeria. The problem we have is that the police we have now, the population cannot match what we have as our own population, which is close to 200 million. Today, if they withdraw those 10 men and they reduce them to 1, police will not still be enough. By statistics of what I hear on TV, will not still be enough.
I think those police don't go there by themselves. Somebody gave them to those people to protect them. And then those people should be checked and they should stop. So the best thing is those people giving such police should stop. But you can't just blame the police entirely because the ordinary policeman, when you are asked to go and perform a duty, he will go there and do it.
I'm totally against the way the police that should be used for the masses should be given to individuals on a private note. Even if you are a politically elected or appointed person, it should be one. But most of them will carry 10, 5, only for one person. For example, a minister. You will see a police following the minister. You see one in his house, see one in his house in the village, see one in his house in Lagos, see one in his house in Abuja. One person, the IGs for the general of police. If we should call back all the police officers that are being given so that there will be more policemen for people.
Chairman of the Police Service Commission, Mike Okiro, had noted that the commission commenced the implementation of the withdrawal of the policemen, but the exercise was stalled due to lack of funds. President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015 had directed that police personnel attached to unauthorized persons and VIPs in the country be withdrawn and redeployed to confront the security challenges in the nation. And away from security issues, Nigerians have called for strict adherence to the warning given by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, advising the people to brace up to a hotter weather condition. Those who spoke with Human Rights Radio in Abuja said Nigerians should cut down some of the excesses and try to remain healthy.
The heat is due to the depletion of the ozone layer caused by human factors. The only way you can curtail is by drinking excessive water because the heat will cause dehydration. So all you need to replenish by drinking water. That's why they advise that anywhere you are, hold your water around so that you should be replace the water they are losing at all time. And the government should implement some policies that will help in curtailing the depletion of the ozone layer, like all the emissions that we are seeing, the gaseous emissions within and around our environments. They are very hazardous to our environment and even to the weather.
I think there is nothing more than adhering to the advice from the NIMET, because from the text they have sent to people, they have advising people against certain things, coming out early during the sun, and those that indulge in alcoholic drinking should stop for the time being. If you heed to those advice, I think it will help a long way.
Good ventilation. At least you can't compare outside and inside. Definitely there must be breeze outside. They say heat causes meningitis.
NIMET had advised people to drink more water, to stay hydrated, avoid alcohol and caffeinated drinks, reduce sweet and juicy junks, and also reduce food rich in protein during this season. And on the foreign scene now, the ANC has decided to sack Jacob Zuma as president of South Africa. This was disclosed by Ace Magashule, Secretary General of the ANC, while addressing a World Press Conference in the country today. The decision by the ruling council came after 13 hours of tense deliberations and face-to-face meeting between Zuma and his presumed successor, Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa. Zuma has been living on borrowed time since Ramaphosa, a union leader once tipped as Mandela's peak, was elected as head of the 106-year-old ANC in December. On Friday, Zuma's wife, Thobeka Madiba Zuma, posted comments on Instagram suggesting that the troubled president was prepared to fight and believed he was the victim of a Western conspiracy. And in sports, the Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) has retained Manu Garba as coach of the under-17 side despite failing to qualify the country for the last FIFA World Cup in India. Garba, who led Nigeria to his record fourth under-17 World Cup title in 2013, was in charge of the under-20 side. Super Eagles assistant coach Salisu Yusuf, who led the country to the runners-up spot at the African Nations Championship (CHAN) early this month, has been handed a third role as he heads the Olympic team. NFF spokesman Ademola Olajewe told newsmen today that the body's Technical and Development Committee took the decision in order for experience and continuity in the youth coaching setup. And that's the news for this hour. But we would like to remind you that President Muhammadu Buhari has insisted that Boko Haram membership is thinning out. Federal government presents action plan to end extreme violence in Nigeria. Human Rights Radio clocks 1 year in transmission as lovers of the station continue to pour in comments from listeners. And on the foreign scene, ANC recalls President Jacob Zuma from office. That's the news for this hour. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Oikeke Igado Kure.